proceed into the lift. Mind yourself down there.
Agent. Just the individual I had designated this time to converse with. As should be self-evident, I have dispensed with the slavish whims of the body. My mind is clearer than it has ever been, and I have you to thank. Of course, the chances of a negative outcome were always negligible. But now, congratulations are in order. I just received word from Seer Amaryllis that the Calcaduceus has been returned, and that the Archive is under our control again. She also mentioned a regrettable defect in its priority set that you were able to correct. Well done. Your role in this matter is complete. Auntie and I will handle it from here, but allow me to commend you again on your fruitful efforts to make this peace treaty possible. We studied the data you brought back from the crashed satellite, and we now have a way to reorient the satellites en masse from a protectorate installation, Oris Listening Post. Turning the entirety of the reticulum toward deep space will accelerate our understanding of the universe, and ideally, lead us to stronger conclusions regarding how to stop the rifts. The Order, in partnership with Auntie's Choice, is now well positioned to triumph over the regressive forces of ignorance that have heretofore held Arcadia in stasis, all thanks to you. Then it is fortunate that you are so well placed to do exactly that, with the Order's help. As if predetermined, your contributions have been many and varied, and I will not belabor the point by recounting them all here. But know this. When the final contest with the Protectorate takes place, wherever that may occur, you will not only have the support of Auntie's Choice and the Order. I will stand with you, personally. Were I still shackled to ego, I might have succumbed to some instinct for self-preservation. But my presence improves the odds of our success, and so there is no other decision to be made. Agent, after what you have accomplished for the Order, your presence is always welcome. As I told you in my message, a splinter group was responsible for recruiting your fellow agent and tasking her to perpetrate that heresy. The conviction of those radicals was such that they elected to perish from exposure to Cloister's wilderness to avoid fouling their predictions and my interference. Their interpretation of the data was at odds with mine. I forbade them taking action, to no avail, obviously. I disavowed their actions then, as I do now.
That sure will be some comfort the next time one of my stumps seizes up.
This kind of collateral damage is precisely what I was hoping to avoid. But that is the past. We must look toward the future now. May you achieve progress in accordance with the plan.
Failed to cite her work completely. I worked with presiding Bishop Orlo, you know. Now there was a serious scientician.
Just want you to know your efforts are seen and appreciated. If it isn't my little favorite operator.
Hello, stranger. Mercenary. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Any undue rage you note in my tone is not at all related to the recent coup in my beloved Protectorate. I do so dearly love residing in a nest of traitors, waiting for them to capitulate, unable to aid my fellows at home. It is truly a wonderful feeling. The Consul is the worst traitor of all! In short, no. No, the Order must capitulate to the Sovereign. Only execution awaits the Consul, and all others shall regain their senses. All this is beyond my purview, I remind myself. I must remain focused on the Order.
Hate is an inaccurate phrase. I find them arrogant and exasperating. Without the Protectorate, this little organization would have no holdings to squat in. I am here because the Sovereign has tasked me with bringing these wayward, pretentious toddlers back into the Protectorate fold. Unfortunately, my time here has taught me that only mass death has the power to change the local hearts and minds. Perhaps enough will be alive to save afterwards. I am not just anyone. The duty of a liaison is of the utmost importance, requiring due diligence and delicacy. Though I suppose it a mite strange that this task fell to me, as I'd urge the vehement tanning of any wayward body bent on disrespecting the Protectorate, which would now include the Protectorate at large. Madness, slandering my beloved Sovereign, following that feckless Consul, makes my blood boil.
I fear it is not so simple. Though many within the Protectorate still trusted their leaders, a growing minority had begun to question their Sovereign. They argued the losses we've suffered would not have happened if he could truly lead, that his father would not have allowed this to happen. Pah! Anyone who didn't side with the Sovereign will pay, sooner or later. You may count on it. I've proudly served the Protectorate my whole life. Now look at it. Traitors from without, traitors from within. It's enough to make an old man despair. That Consul, I never trusted that miserable bastard. His betrayal is so galling, I'd almost care to join the armed forces to bring him to justice myself. But my hands quaver with age, and the Sovereign has tasked me with my own duty. I must see it to completion before all else. Listen, you. The Protectorate does not do delegation. The Protectorate has a will that must be upheld. My presence here is a display of more faith than these fools deserve. Niceties are irrelevant, and likely detrimental to the task at hand. I am here to make the Order see the error of their ways. All other particulates are frivolous. If my younger self could see me now, exchanging pleasantries with a mercenary in the heart of a nest of traitors. Were my life a serial, I'd say it was a mite contrived.
Any updates concerning our mutual, friend, caffeine celebrant Doyle? Really? I don't suppose you'd be willing to elaborate on the reasons? No? Well, this is disappointing news. I must admit, I thought we had a real opportunity here. Oh, well, never mind all that. You have other things you wish to discuss with me? Cool. Look at me, as giddy as a first-year novice. All right, let's listen. No, this isn't right. There must be some mistake. The beliefs advocated here are entirely in opposition with what the Order stands for. I don't suppose you have any other recordings less filled with, despair? Philosophism? What's that? Well, that sounds horrible. It's evident what happened. My colleagues must have gone quite mad in the isolation of their studies. Sad, but perhaps not unforeseeable. Only one certainty remains. These logs must be destroyed. I shudder to imagine the ramifications if other members of the Order were subjected to such nonsensical rantings. Please understand, what's been recorded here borders on heretical. Scientism teaches that the universe is constant, rational, and inalterable. These proofs reject all of that reason in favor of some ineffable manifestation of personal will. Not a big... They are questioning the foundational principles of the entire Order. The damage that could ensue if such philosophies spread is very nearly incalculable. Ordinarily, I'd commend you for keeping such an open mind. But we must be careful that our minds are not so open that all reason slips out. Thank you for your assistance in this, delicate matter. I'll ensure the contents of these logs never pollute the minds of good scholars for all our sakes. I believe I promised you a reward. Here is that lockbox. I regret I don't have a key, but I'm sure you'll find some way to access its contents. Eventually.
This unit requests your presence in the cockpit to discuss a priority matter.
Never thought I'd see the day the Order stoops so low as to pal around with Auntie's choice. I know your intentions were good, but do you really see these two staying cozy past war's end? Or magnify them. But who knows? This merger's already saving lives, so I suppose it was worth the effort. Nicely done, Commander. Oh yeah? What's needling you?
Yes, Commander. May all our travails add to the equation.
There's anything worse than my former fellow Protectorate subjects, it's corporate toadies. Such as?
Got something that needs doing, Commander?
The corporate stooges and the Order were good for only one thing, laying waste to one another. Now they are allies? I'm disturbed by the implications of this alliance. But the Protectorate will yet prevail. Mark my words. I did, yes. Quite the risky move, considering how readily it could attract the Consul's attention. I suppose he considered it worthwhile. His message was rather astonishing. It's difficult to comprehend living so thoroughly for another as he so claimed to be. Not to mention utterly blasphemous. But it all must have been more difficult for him than I even realized. I hope he finds himself someday. Perhaps, once he does, the two of us shall meet again. I am prepared for anything that is to come. Speak freely. Certainly. I consider myself an open tome.
A significant anomaly has been detected by onboard sensors. This unit has cross-checked all data points and verified the findings. Horizon Point Station has reappeared. Providing intellectual validation to this unit's queue. Priority low, based on energy readings. Horizon Point has been reconstituted by the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator, thus confirming the Archive's theory. While present data does not indicate if Horizon Point poses an immediate threat, a survey of the reconstituted station is advised as soon as possible. Calculating. According to the Archive, closing all rifts requires locating the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator and inputting the rift data processed by the Archive. However, before navigating to Horizon Point Station, it is recommended you conclude all other affairs. Leaving will be highly unlikely due to the high levels of rift energy. That is a correct assessment, Commander. Transitioning to Good News Protocol. As this unit was corroborating data on the anomaly, a message was also received from your allies, Commander. Auntie's Choice and the Order have sent word that their forces will be prepared to render you assistance once you navigate to Horizon Point. Commanders are expected to lead their teams by example. Well done on meeting base expectations, Commander. Briefing complete. Now returning to situation monitoring and data analysis, Commander. The termination of hostilities between the Order and Auntie's Choice has elicited a response from the Protectorate. The official statement reads, "The Order continues to show its perfidy through this depraved union with Arcadia's invaders. Death to all traitors. Glory to the Protectorate." Readying database. It appears Horizon Point Station is still in the process of being reconstituted. The rift itself is also more unstable than ever. As a result, landing closer to the location of the Protectorate's large-scale rift anomaly modulator is not possible. In order to modify it with the rift data you processed in the archive, you will need to travel to its location on foot and seize it from Protectorate control. The energy readings from the modulator can be traced to the Sovereign's flagship, Providence, hovering on the far side of the station. Hypothesizing. Given Protectorate hierarchy and the recent announcement about the Sovereign's mental refreshment, this is likely the Consul's doing. He will need to be stopped.
Is this his idea of demonstrating might? Hell of a way to do it.
Intimidation is not required. Protectorate subjects are not programmed to question authority. Warning. The rift is growing dangerously unstable. Using the rift modulator on board the Providence is the only way to prevent certain destruction of the colony. While the Order and Auntie's Choice have sent their forces to assist you in intercepting the modulator, it will take time for them to navigate the station.
I've trained for impossible odds, Commander. I can face anything you throw me at. Just say the word.
Once the modulator is secured, it may be used to close the rift and save Arcadia and all those in its orbit. There is minimal room for error, Commander. Good luck.
What is it?
Preparing obligatory encouragement. You can do it, Commander.
The Sovereign will be avenged.
Just waiting on your orders, Commander. Whenever you're ready.
To be so close. The rift. It's magnificent. When we've done what we came to do, it's finally time. I shall soon be reborn into perfection. Thank you for bringing me here.
Now's not the time for a tete-a-tete, I'm afraid.
As if the rift's not hair-raising enough? Something about those soldiers up ahead's got my spine tingling.
Yes, that's definitely the Sovereign's ship.
I see an unfriendly sword!
Everything's broken here. Wires, twisted, landing pad, dirty. Oh.
Being back here feels like straying into a dream. Bad kind.
You have a team now, my dear. Allies. Even friends. We'll help each other through this. Together.
This explains a lot, actually. Never moseyed up here last go-around. Poor kid.
I'll take care of him, Commander.
Threat detected. Self-preservation a priority. Stand.
End ready. Exposure. Undervalued. End ready. Exposure. Undervalued.
Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Do you have my back?
This station's a never-ending mess. Good thing we've got our own rift modulator to help us navigate.
Attention! This is your anti-calling. Per our agreement, Anti's choice support ships, including the fine print, the contingency plan, and the upper hand, are headed your way.
Order forces are on a similar trajectory.
You persuaded the leaders of two warring groups to help us here today. Good work. Never could have done it myself. And I once thought I could solve anything.
I'm sure I trust our shield to hold this like last call. Let's find another way around.
work.
More with the troopers.
Investigating hostile ejector scopes for combatant analysis. I have a fix on their weaknesses. They've enough. Locking them down. Transmitter down over here. Combatant scan. I have a fix on their weaknesses. Filling my weapon. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. No combatant on my scopes.
Let me know when you need a distract.
Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Check your scope for combatant analysis. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Energy transmitter active.
Medics and pharmaceutical provisions incoming. And we're right behind them with a delivery of Auntie's Choice finest supplies. Soon you'll say, that is better than nature.
Forward! Forward! Destroy these abominations! Adjusting calculations. Hold fire on our allies.
Proceeding to attack. Fortificator at ready status. Unfriendly nearby. Do try to limit further damage, Commander. Transmitter down over here.
Commander, if I know one thing for certain, murdering members of the Order isn't my role within the grand plan.
Hostile spot!
Combat.
Ready to take the heat off the commander. Get quick.
N-ray. Exposure. Undermining. Functioning.
Combatant scan.
Take an idea.
I'm so very to observe.
Yeah.
N-ray. Exposure. Undermining. Functioning.
In all my research, I've never observed anything like this.
I never could have predicted that.
forged an alliance between Auntie's
Supplies
Choice
and
and the
medical
Order, ain't
attention
you?
are available to you, Commander.
We got
Please,
supplies and medical
proceed.
support for you.
Be mindful of where you step. Chasms are everywhere.
Helen? No. No, it couldn't be.
Get away from me. See them? They were my teammates and they didn't listen neither. You'll end up just the same.
Helen? Law, is that you? It's me, Niles. No, I look a mite different from how you remember me. Been working on my fashion sense.
Wait, Rookie? Commander? Is that you? No. No, this must be some kind of trick. Oh, what's happening to me? My skin, it's burning. I feel dizzy. Not right at all. Something was wrong with Sandoval and Jepson. They glowed like they were aflame. They ran in, jumped at me, clawed at me. Oh, I had to kill them.
Oh, Helen. That's awful. But you were only defending yourself. I'd have done no different.
How do I know you won't turn against me as well? How do I know you won't come at me with murder in your eyes? No. You're as I remember. And we are here conversating. Neither of them could manage that, but I'm having trouble making sense of things. Everything was fine. Till the explosion. I was pinned. Fire closed in. I tried to move. I tried to find the rookie. Then the whole station shook and tore apart. And then... nothing.
She was alive when the rift engulfed the station. That's how she's here now. We could have saved her, Commander. We could have done something.
Wait. There was something else. Sandoval was yelling. DeVries wasn't responding to comms. What happened? Law, I knew something was the matter. Tell me. Tell me everything.
Val and I tried looking for you while the commander went on ahead, but DeVries never intended for us to finish the mission. We barely escaped the station before she destroyed it.
So she never intended for any of us to survive. Figures. So what is it that left me like this? Not right. Stop speaking in circles. What are they doing?
It's called reconstitution. The Protectorate are trying to put the whole station back to how it was before it was destroyed. You included. But it's failing.
So I've come back from death to some warped version of life? All because of some twisted experiment? Is that about right? I assume you got a plan to help me? You do, don't you? Boyd. This is it, ain't it? I'll never see the sun again. never fly in our ship. Never anything. What am I supposed to do? Yeah, well, the amount of hope I got ain't worth a damn. Frickin' best you can do is end this for me. So will you? I'm unsure.
Glad we could do you this one last kindness. Rest easy now, Helen. You've earned it. Won't let no one forget your bravery.
Always knew I could count on you, Rookie. You've made a damn fine agent. Only wish I'd been there to see it. This is the final kindness you'll do for me, Commander. Thank you. Try not to miss, huh? I'll just wait here, Commander. Go on. I'll just wait here, Commander. Go on.
Thank you for putting an end to her suffering. I know that wasn't an easy decision, but it was the right one.
You're the one who forged an alliance between Auntie's Choice and the Order, ain't you? We got supplies and medical support for you up ahead.
You with Auntie?
Hold clear.
We brought supplies.
You
We're
may
here to
approach,
help.
Commander. We've got supplies at the ready.
Supplies available ahead, Commander. Consider it payment for your support.
Initial observations conclude that the subject is suffering from multiple ailments. Just as I predicted, you appear to have suffered some trauma. Sometimes my own accuracy troubles me so. Any treatments or supplies you may require are complimentary at the request of our presiding bishop. Very well. You should notice an improvement to your constitution imminently. May the numbers guide you. We shall stand by for further orders. Initial observations conclude that the subject does not possess major ailments.
There's the Providence. Oh, what a beauty. I mean, apart from the whole rendering space-time the sun. And look there. That rover looks inbound for the skip labs.
Casualties are afoot. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Go for torpification.
Why can't the Rift ever reconstitute anything nice? Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
Get ready.
Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Proceeding to attack.
Another rift. And is that plasma wrapped up in it? I wouldn't recommend getting close. Haven't come this far just to give up. Let's look around. Gotta be some way to deal with this.
This is Scientist Bernard Rand, sent to Horizon Point Station by order of the Consul. While monitoring the reconstitution, I picked up strange readings in the old skip lab. The core appears to be pulling plasma tightly around it, not unlike a planet and its moons. Fascinating, though it thwarts my attempts to gather more data. Fortuitously, in searching the remains of the lab, I found an equation that could manipulate the core just enough to clear the chamber. And my way to professional acclaim. Let this be a record of Protectorate ingenuity. Bernard Rand, the man who marched fearlessly into chaos and tamed it.
Confirmed what I expected from Protectorate scientists. And that we'll need that equation to clear our path further.
Suppose this is a bad time to mention I barely passed my high-intensity arithmetic course at the academy? Oh, was that all we needed?
Now we only need return to the terminal and input it. Splendid. Rift secure.
Capture the readings. We'll let the blame settle as it lies. Data retrieval complete. Let us hope the others return shortly.
I have a fix on their weaknesses. Limiting the threat.
Did you get up to the Providence quick light? Find that rift module.
Free of undue kerfuffle. Now to unseal that hangar.
strike.
Taking the fight out of them. Beating them down. Transmitter down. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Standing by to stupefy.
Extreme prejudice to our enemies. Come, let us coordinate. In spite of your success thus far, the hard work is not yet finished. You still need to seize the Rift Modulator and end the console's machinations. By force, if necessary. Both the modulator and the conductor of this ill-conceived plot are on the decks above us. However, there are security protocols you will need to bypass in order to access them. Each deck has its own restrictions, and the lift can only be operated with access credentials, such as a pass card. But these are limited to certain personnel, so it may be difficult to locate one. An alternate route through the engine room is viable, but there is a high likelihood that you will encounter automechanical defenses. Much on this ship, it seems, is not for the eyes of the rank and file.
Oh, two of the strongest individuals in Arcadia aren't enough for you? Or perhaps you need a quick bowl of Purpleberry Crunch for an added boost of moxie.
A precision strike team meets the requirements of this mission. Bringing any more troops would have been excessive. Indeed. I will hold position on this level to ensure you are not flanked by enemy reinforcements. Look for me once you have reached the uppermost level. We will regroup there.
Better get a move on before this ramshackle sprattle of a station falls apart. Hustle up to the science wing. Get the Rift Modulator. I'll talk at you later.
What remains of Horizon Point should yield much in the way of science, once the threat of the Rift is neutralized.
You should really go on ahead. We'll keep these slackwits distracted. Go seal the deal.
Investigating hostile intentions. I'll handle this. Spy move! Activating energy transmitter.
Keep any and all fluids leaking from your body from staining the floor. Failure to do so will result in punishment via denial of medical service. How might this unit bolster or reduce your current blood volume? Note, by viewing inventory, user admits they possess foreign currency and shall submit to inspection, interrogation, and / or violent beating by security. Displaying inventory. Apologies, but an automechanical's work is never concluded. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. submit proof of punishment. Unit does not accept blood. Please make a request. Displaying inventory. You please make a request.
It's the hot shot for hire from The Wire.
Tell me we're not going to just go blundering ahead. That's not the plan. Right, Commander?
Hostility. Troublemaker approaching.
Energy transmitter out. Vitals critical. Back and scan. Check your scopes for combatant analysis. Vitals are in the red, Commander. Combatant scan.
Reckon we can look for those access credentials if you wanted to avoid a fight. Sneaking around's always an option too. Anyway, the modulator has got to be on this deck. We should poke around, but quiet-like. See what information we can uncover.
Did you not hear the intruder alert from the crew deck? This is a very poor time to be loitering somewhere you should not. You'd best present a very convincing reason for your presence, lest I order our automechs to smear you across the floor. Wait, we need all the assistance we can get, and I'm sure your theoretical degree will aid us. Please forgive my hostility. Since you seem to be a new transfer, you'll want to speak with Chief Scientist Montserrat in the Rift Chamber. Here, I'll lend you my access credentials as proof of your authorization. Of course, The Consul's vision for an idealized version of Arcadia are paramount to my own aims. It's my wife, you see. She's never loved me, and she chews with her mouth open. Through the Consul's plan, I expect to see both issues rectified, especially the latter one. Montserrat asserts that this is not how the rift shall work, but I believe he simply needs to redouble his devotion. Return to your work, my fellow subject.
No one deserves this.
Go about your business, or do not.
Return to your work, my fellow subject.
Oh, look at the size of that thing. No way we're getting the modulator on the ship. Best we can hope is to get closer and learn more about it.
I received word that you were here. Rift specialist, are you? What exactly was it that you needed? I'm rather short on time, as a gander outside might tell you. Yeah, well, we all have urgent needs. And mine is to keep my lab and hopefully the rest of this system from falling apart. I need the modulator for my own analysis. You can wait. I apologize. Suppose I can trust you with this information then. Matriarch knows one more voice might help us out of this mess. Our situation is far more dire than it may seem. There is no proof that Rift data can be stabilized or even edited. The Consul's plan will fail completely. But he no longer listens to me, which is distressing. I've prepared a report for him showing how the very structure of the modulator makes what we're attempting impossible. But I doubt he will pay it much mind. Yes, but as I said, I fear the report won't do any good. It's clear you aren't bound by the same rules as the rest of us somehow. If he won't hear Mia, perhaps a third party will have more luck. Here, use this keycard on the module over there. It will allow you to download my report and grant you access to the control deck. I hope you're able to sway him, because if you don't, we're all dead. A deck up in the control room. The console is the only one who has the means of controlling it, which makes your persuading him that much more necessary. Go now. Yes? Was there something else you needed?
Accessing report. Rift restoration analysis. Compiled by Chief Scientist Monserrate. Marked for delivery to Consul Thoreau.
Esteemed Consul,
After much analysis, my conclusion is that the modulator we have worked tirelessly to build will not function as intended when used for reconstituting matter from rifts. Every test of reconstitution has resulted in demonstrable failure. Proceeding as we are now with Horizon Point Station will surely lead to severe, unanticipated consequences. The modulator is only effective at closing rifts from unsafe distances. Using it to close exacerbated rifts will certainly lead to the destruction of any vessel carrying it. Unfortunately, the data that we originally had hoped for from the ancient rifts detected in the far reaches of space untouched by humanity has not yielded any of its secrets. And we are now out of time. All of our recent readings suggest that we're on the verge of losing control of this rift. I recommend diverting from our current plan before it is too late for Arcadia. I've included extensive notes and annotations appended to the modulator schematics to substantiate these conclusions. I know you will guide us wisely, my dear Consul.
Schematic secured. These rift coordinates are deep into unexplored space. That contradicts most rift causation theories, or hints at more troubling implications.
It's a stumper, all right. But we'll have to worry about it later. Right now, we should concentrate on finding the console.
Yes? Was there something else you needed? Yes? And you're correct. Everything that I've studied has confirmed that skip drive usage directly results in the manifestation of rifts. As for why rifts are found far away from humanity, I'll leave that for you to conclude on your own.
Your punctuality is as commendable as ever. How did you fare in securing the rift modulator? Yet one more hindrance to overcome in this endeavor. Nevertheless, I expect you to guard those plans closely in the interim. Did you find anything else of note? When one learns information that rattles their understanding of the universe, one may take a moment to consider the gravity of said information. We know that rifts are only caused by skip drives, so if they are appearing in non-colonized space, then this is truly momentous. It proves definitively that life did not originate on Earth, and may, in fact, exist elsewhere in other forms.
Of course, I wouldn't want to discount these findings too quickly, especially considering the implications.
I concur. This is a discussion for later, with laureates in attendance. For now, we must confront the Consul before he wrests that future away forever. He is just through those doors. I have run the numbers, and should you wish to negotiate with the Consul, you must be strategic. He will not react well to a direct attack on his character or methods early on. It certainly may. At which point we may find the opening needed to convince him to stand down.
I might tread a mite lightly, dear. If I know the consul's type, and I do, his ego can take only so many hits before his guns do the talking. Simply goading may not be ideal.
Not that the consul deserves it, none. But if we can end things peaceably, we should try for it.
You should take this time to prepare. Replenish your supplies. Explore your environment for any advantages. Consider what options you may have in the event negotiations fail. And if there is anything more you need to say to me or your companions, I encourage you to divest yourself of these diversionary thoughts while you still can.
To business then. Time is capital. Time is bits.
If it is another handout you seek, then I suppose I can part with this. Focus on accomplishing the task at hand. I have nothing more for you for the time being.
Ah, Redactor Esmond. Very punctual, good. Don't take a seat, this will be quick. My sentinels tell me you have some interesting ideas. Oh, easy, no need to break into a sweat. Interesting ideas can be useful in the right hands. Especially now that our partnership with the Order has become fraught. We may need our own version of their pacifying doctrine.
Oh, so I do have a germ of an idea. A less grand version of the grand plan. Instead of atoms and particles and such, it's made up of us. All doing our part, like cogs in a machine.
Interesting. A system where every subject believes they have a role to play. Enthusiastic obedience. Why, the Sovereign and I were thinking of this very thing. What should we call it?
Well, I'm not sure. It's still just a germ of a concept, of a hint of an idea, you see. It's a whole new way of thinking. A new model of society. Quite the paradigm shift.
Paradigm. Very good, Esmond. Say, you look frazzled, troubled by your own thoughts. Why don't you report to mental refreshment? My staff will personally see to your well-being.
Seems like our mission's almost complete, Commander. One way or the other. Before we finish this, I wanted to thank you. Showed me I still had more to learn. You and this crew, this little family of ours. Oh, stop. You're going to make me... Didn't foresee that happening. Let's hope this day is full of more surprises. Like we all survive. May all our travails add to the equation.
This is it, Commander. Only thing standing between us and saving Arcadia is a single dastardly villain. Feels almost quaint after everything else, don't it? This is the mission we should have been on from the moment the Earth Directorate dropped us into the system. Liberating Arcadia from its despots. I could have done without the 10-year interlude. But sure, you know, back in the day reading tales of all your daring do's, never could have imagined myself fighting alongside you. Not just as a fellow agent, but also a friend. Funny how life turns out. All right, enough jawing. Let's show the consul to his reward. Law knows it's long past due.
The distinguished presiding bishop herself has deigned to join us. What a charming surprise.
Don't overlook the main attraction, dear. I even wore my finest battle attire.
I might have known you'd conspire with our enemy and lead some foolhardy crusade against me. Loyalty has eluded you for years, after all. Sentinels, if you would.
Forming an alliance was necessary to combat the irrationality of your foolish endeavor. Those who fail to show reason do not deserve to lead this colony. Now, stand down.
I will not. I am saving this colony from itself and ridding it entirely of traitors and trespassers like you. Do not place his decision at my feet. I know it's difficult for the likes of you to fathom the concept of self-sacrifice, but he chose mental refreshment for the good of us all. And what am I to do but carry on his legacy? What am I to do but achieve what he could not? I don't doubt that, Commander. Yes, I know well who you are. In any other situation, I might be compelled to take you apart and see how precisely it is you operate, but time, it would seem, isn't on your side. You are a relic of an impotent institution, propelled forward by nothing more than luck and foolhardy metal. Indeed. Rarely are there enough measures to keep the most tenacious of sprats from gnawing their way in. I've been following your progress closely, you know, since you so unceremoniously tampered with our Vox relay on Paradise Island. When you began your dealings with the Order and the Corporatists, I thought that perhaps having a chaotic element in their midst could work in our favor. But now you're here, scurrying around my ship and attempting to thwart the Protectorate yet again. No, I don't think I will. Tell me, did you manage to stop us from bringing your peace talks to a swift end? As I recall, Greater Tranquility was reduced to little more than mangled ruins in a single moment.
Greater Tranquility Station was a test?
It was a modest success. I had hoped it'd hobble Auntie's choice in the Order once and for all, but it has proven to be a valuable lesson in patience. I was able to buy the time to enact the very plan before you. Though, judging from that vacant expression on your face, it would appear you've no idea what I intend. Very well. Once the Rift destroys Arcadia, we shall edit the information stored within it and use the modulator to reshape our colony into its perfect form. Horizon Point's destruction all those years ago was a tragedy, yes, but without it, we might never have opened our eyes to our true purpose and the possibility of Arcadia's rebirth. When the Matriarch discovered the first skip drive, she set us on a course to elevate humanity. We're now writing our path, and I will do my part as the Architect intended. Intrepid, aren't you? Well, what's relevant is what came after. Our Matriarch dissected this skip drive technology, learned its secrets, and enabled us to produce them en masse, which eventually led to the manifestation of rifts. But it was not until well after Horizon Point's untimely end that we understood the opportunity gifted us. The opportunity to reconstruct the colony in its perfect form. It is as the Grand Architect designed. And believe you me, I've no intention of letting you thwart our securing of a better future, one free of doubt and greed. It's your time that's running out, not mine. So go on, tell me all the ways I'm wrong. Better yet, tell the whole room how His Eminence, the Sovereign, was wrong. This was originally his plan, after all. I am merely a partner seeing it carried out.
Do not presume to tell me what is or isn't the truth. I was advisor to the original Sovereign. I know the mind of a true leader. This is the path Henry should have taken.
Yes, of course we argued over methodology. Henry was always too stubborn, too focused on the past to understand the opportunity before him. I regret that he had to make such a difficult choice. That one of the Matriarch's heirs is not guiding us. But he needed to look beyond himself, like I am doing now. You just come and go as you please, do you? I ensured he would have a handler by his side if any assistance was needed. And I understand that it is, which is regrettable. But fulfilling the Architect's plan is worth the cost. Henry would agree. The people would agree. Yes, well, we also lost the support of the Order. But can one truly call that a loss? We would have drowned already in the seas of war with the weight of their inaction around our necks.
Reality would dispute that fact, given that it is I who has invaded your sanctum, and not the other way around. The Order has always been the Protectorate's more capable half.
I can scarcely recognize the Bishop standing in front of me. To think that I welcomed your ascension all those years ago. Orlo was at least amenable, moldable, teachable. But you've been nothing but disappointment. You're so busy chasing figments of the future, you don't even know they're leading you off the side of a cliff.
To a man of such expansive pride, all perceived slights become personal. Recall, Emery, that we once worked together toward the same aims. You made us enemies when you started down this unconscionable deviation from what is best for Arcadia.
I will not be blamed for your treacherous actions. A true Protectorate subject knows that adhering to the Sovereign's words is what's best for Arcadia. And you were never true. The same can be said for any subject who wavers. They are dead weight, and we must cast them off straight away. Once I win the war and leave those naysayers behind, harsh action will be swiftly forgotten. And once I provide for the needs of my subjects, I will have them forever. Indeed. That's why my strongest supporters wholeheartedly believe in me and the Protectorate cause. So which is it? Can my people see reason, as you so aptly put it? Or are they mindless drones needing desperately to be saved by you? It cannot be both. For every traitor in our midst, thousands of loyalists remain. If anyone attempts to move against me, they are merely announcing themselves as the chaff to be cut. And they promptly will be. You'll note that all the brightest, most efficient Protectorate minds were assigned to the Sentinels to ensure the history of Arcadia is not sullied. But the Arbiters, they've quite outlived their usefulness. Just one more thing I intend to fix. The people will understand in time. They only care that they are provided for. So you say, but you've yet to deliver any compelling evidence.
Madness is rarely apparent to one in its throes. I wonder, would you even be capable of hearing facts if we offered them?
I am the chosen shepherd of Arcadia and will not be spoken to like this.
I am only doing what I must to restore this colony to what our matriarch envisioned. Free of war, strife, heresy. You must know that you have little chance of swaying me. I will not be distracted from taking what is owed to us. I will not be lectured by an outsider. It's just like the Earth Directorate, or any other interloper, to claim to better know the customs of those they invade. Certainly if you had your way, you would claim Arcadia as yours, and rewrite history to suit your own aims.
It's true. Your matriarch suspected the Protectorate was doomed from the get-go. Reuben was mucking things up even before his mother's body was cold.
No, Reuben would not have gone against her. He was a stalwart protector of Arcadia to the end. We could all see his devotion. If he even attempted to bastardize the Protectorate cause, then we will have undone all of the matriarch's work. I do not dismiss that I was complicit. It was my duty to guide him to the best of my ability. But surely it cannot be possible that I've gotten this wrong. All your so-called arguments are pure hearsay. You came here claiming so boldly that I would fail, but you have yet to provide any proof. So where is it? What do you have? Bah, a report. The abstract means little when compared to reality. Look outside. Is it failing now? That's not true. Despite how things appear at present, with time, this station, all of Arcadia, and all of its people will be made whole. So they will remain as shells upon reconstitution. Is that what you're saying? This would explain the anomalies we've encountered of late. I don't understand. Surely every step leading to this moment was in accordance to the grand plan. All the pieces fit. Either someone has made a terrible mistake, or this is merely a conspiracy to mislead us. You may try.
Resorting to violence.
Got my left on an
Target analyzed.
Transmitter down over here.
Troublemaker approaching.
Necessary vulnerabilities identified. Energy transmitter active.
If the readouts are to be believed, the rift is on the verge of destabilizing completely. But the rift modulator cannot be operated from this distance. It must be flown into the rift.
That was a rather substantial hole in my predictions. These rifts have presented an excessive supply of incalculable variables.
Though it may be troubling to you, this conclusion holds no uncertainty. Someone present must do this. This is not possible. There is no set destination we can command the ship to fly to. The flying and the activation of the modulator must be done manually.
The order Order and I will use the schematics and the processed rift data to mass-produce modulators that are usable at a distance. These pesky rifts will soon no longer plague the colonies.
I don't like where this is headed.
I don't see why it has to be you, dear. I mean, I would, but I've spent much too much on prolonging my existence to cash out now. That is to say, thank you. You trusted us with the Rift technology. You can rest assured we'll put it to worthwhile use.
Thankfully, you need not rely on empty assurances. The Order will continue to experiment with the technology and safeguard its use.
Knew it'd come down to us. Always does.
All of you, stop fretting unduly. There's only one person here who can do this right. I'll fly the ship.
Can't think of anyone more capable to see this through to the end. But I'll miss you, Marisol. Lectures and all.
Guess I'll respect your decision. However you choose best to handle this.
Commander, it's been an honor and a privilege. You really are the best the Directorate's got.
The commanders sacrificed themselves to save the galaxy. No one knew their motives or thoughts in those final moments, though legends grew around this mythical agent of the Earth Directorate all the same. Thanks to the commander's quick thinking in sparing it from the Vox station's fiery crash, Paradise Island's Fairfield remained a profitable company town for Auntie's Choice. For his outside-the-box thinking and innovative propaganda techniques, D.B. Milverstreet was promoted, while rival Officer Carr seethed at her lack of upward mobility, or even bronze-tier executive benefits. Vigilant Hogarth, now acclimated to Fairfield, leaned on the Protectorate ideals of neighborliness, while overlooking all the authoritarian tactics, so he might help the Order to succeed with the equation. Auntie's Choice assumed control over the day-to-day workings of Matriarch's Mercy, the better to monitor their new colleagues in the Order. The monastery, however, returned to normal operation, tracking the clockwork of the grand plan. The monastery's abbot became a scapegoat for recent tragic events, having not detected Wiley's dastardly schemes. His superiors demoted him, mainly to show their corporatist allies that academics could keep their people in line too. After defending Fort Endurance against a fierce Mantisaur attack, Executive Warchek was awarded a commendation for profit-securing stalwartness, as well as promotion to regional manager. He eventually passed peacefully in his sleep at the scientifically astounding age of 6. Having died at the peace talks, Augustine DeVries' treachery was never known to the Earth Directorate. She is forever remembered as the star agent who tragically went missing during her mission. Val continued to serve the Earth Directorate faithfully for many more years than should be possible, giving automechs like her everywhere a reputation as stable and reliable. As a result, more Valerie units were put into service, while fewer human agents were deployed into the field. As he rose through the Earth Directorate ranks, Niles pressed for a field directive to deploy the new Val units only when the situation posed significant risk. The policy reduced agent casualties by a significant margin. Oddly enough, in-office deaths increased by a not insignificant margin. Agent Niles Ibarra achieved the rank of commander, earning renown as a formidable agent, unafraid to challenge the status quo within the Earth Directorate. He recruited his friend Zebulon Tran to the Earth Directorate, a gesture of gratitude for not airing the Directorate's dirty laundry. Together, they vowed to reform the agency from within, so it might never again bargain with authoritarian governments. Ultimately, Niles rose to the position of Secretary General. His term saw the Earth Directorate at its most popular, or, in the eyes of corporations and tyrannical governments, most feared. Thanks to her effective performance at the Praetor blockade, Inez eventually became a VP of Auntie's Choice and head of the revamped grafting program. Through her egalitarian management style, grafting evolved into the corporation's first health benefit, available to all employees who wanted it. Utilizing what he learned alongside the commander, Tristan attempted to reform Protectorate society from within. But with no authority figure to lead its subjects, the Protectorate was a shell of its former self. After thoughtful cogitation and calculation, Marisol slowly began to reject violence as the sole method for eliminating random variables. Not coincidentally, her social calendar began filling up. Asa finally achieved her dream of dying in a rift. All it took was a daring and blood-soaked heist of a modulator to create a rift that she then summarily leapt into. Thus Asa remained a fanatical member of the Glorious Dawn, spreading the truth of the rifts to her final agonized breath. With the modulator schematics shared as joint intellectual property, Auntie's Choice and the Order's partnership remained steady, despite the need for constant compromise. For a time, the Arcadia colony thrived. Auntie Cleo went through the motions of accommodating the Order, yet privately aspired to keep free trade anything but free. She began a new initiative. Any corporation or government that refused her trade conditions was promptly dealt with, either via takeover or strategic use of rifts. Auntie made her first public appearance in years, inspiring a fashion trend in bubble helmets. In no time at all, she won more public support than Ruth, which she sought to use as leverage when the time was right. Ruth Bassar proceeded to interface with the archive, an agonizing process that clawed away her lifespan. The archive computed that she was mistaken to compromise with the corporatists. To advance the plan, she needed to destroy them from within. So she proceeded to do just that. She had only been using the corporation for its logistical infrastructure. Auntie herself and at least some of her top executives needed to cease existing in Arcadia, either via assassination or skip-drive-assisted exile. Bassar stripped the power from the corporatists in subtle ways, until it was too late for them to stop her. Yet it remained unclear how long the Order could sustain its dominance once Ruth Bassar passed on to become one with the equation. Adrift without firm leadership, Protectorate subjects struggled with post-war life. A small band of hardliners collaborated to preserve their society in the face of Arcadia's new leadership. When Sovereign Varric was discovered in mental refreshment, the Order and Auntie's Choice bickered over what to do with him. They ultimately decided to announce his death, while letting him live the rest of his addled days behind closed doors aboard the undisputed claim. Until one day, Amos stumbled upon the Sovereign's private quarters and freed him, rocking the colony with a brief scandal. Despite the recent tumultuous events in Arcadia, it was business as usual for Free Market Station. Sub Rosa continued to supply the colony in the wake of the commander's actions. Unable to die in their sacred rift after it was closed, the Glorious Dawn heeded a new calling, seeking the modulators needed to create new rifts, so that they could die in those instead. The dangerous experimental research of Marisol's contact from Point Obviation lived on, with a seer predicted 11.9% probability of yielding a universe-ending catastrophe. Meanwhile, an entrepreneurial work group of chemistricians unveiled a new flavor of Purple Berry Crunch. The rifts across Arcadia and beyond were soon closed. Trade quickly resumed with Auntie's Choice handling logistics. Yet, more than just goods and resources traveled the re-established trade routes. The Order's version of scientism spread as well. Many colonies stabilized, many thrived, and some even rose to an Arcadian level of prosperity. But there are still some that have never been heard from. All of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia, its disparate factions, social complexities, ubiquitous product placement, and arsenal of absurdly satisfying weaponry. But through it all, and to this day, Earth has remained inexplicably dark.